Hey guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War video. Knowing that the new season is starting soon, it's probably started once this video is out because it's next week, right? Yeah. Let's talk about what I could be running for next season and some of the controversies that's been coming out. I saw some videos like Shizzo talking about how RTA is pretty much dumb because of some of these units that are too RNG heavy, and just in fact that there are so many skills that are RNG heavy, such as the most common one that he talked about, I think, is with the 3 to 4 hit stuff, right? Why can't it just be a set number of hits? Why does it have to be 3 to 4? It's just really stupid. And I kind of agree on that. I do think all the sets should be like a set number of hits and stuff. It makes no sense. But the bigger problem was that with all these units that play with RNG, like Hey Gang is one. This was a common one that has been in talk for a couple years now, I think. Its passive is kind of broken for a certain type of players. I do think Hey Gang is like a necessary bad for certain players, even myself, because there's just so many players that are so fast, and without Hey Gang, it's kind of hard to even try and contest those. But the problem is that more units that play with this RNG is coming out. Another common one that was, I think it was buffed, right? It was this unit right here, Tetsuya. The fact that he gains attack bar by himself, and then the fact that this is a 2-turn where he could keep stunning other units is a little broken. An older unit that played a similar role was Josephine, and she's the same thing. This is a 2-turn. Oh, it's a 3-turn. It's a 3-turn. Okay, it's a little better, but the fact is that once she moves and she procs, she has the skill again. So that's the bad part, and that's why she's just as hated as Tetsuya. And then finally, the Gyu, right? Like the fact that this unit could get a turn so quickly and then put suppress and stun on the despair set is a big minus. The fact that this also loses a cooldown time if the opponent uses a skill is a big minus. So that technically she has this all the time. This stuns, this suppresses, and also could stun. And this Josephine could obviously get a turn if you get stunned. And that happens a whole lot because so many things have CC these days, right? They're centered around control. I'm even thinking of just building a team around these three. Just pull these three out next season, like almost every game, and see what happens. You know, this, like, put some of my best runes, the best runes that I have on those 3 units. I mean, if you could put in Hey Gang as well and just see how it performs, because they're so disgusting against fast, clear control teams. It's not as strong against second turn teams, right? Like the super tanky stuff. I think I've seen a lot of people running Kapsu still with like Nyx and like Valeska or Fermion. So against those teams, it's probably a lot weaker. I'm specifically talking about the teams against fast clears, right? With control. A lot of variances with Oliver is common, right? Even the Twin Angel stuff with like Okeanos. Those are a lot weaker once these units are on the field. And the thing is, they're RNG, right? Because all these stun chances are a percentage, and obviously it also accounts for accuracy. But then if you take into account of resistance, that is also RNG. So the problem is that there's too much of it, right? Not just from the amount of hits that certain skills do. It's just that everything incorporated into this gameplay is too RNG heavy. Finally, that doubles down with violent procs. I do think it's pretty bad. There's a distasteful feeling in the mouth because, well, the violent proc, I don't want to say too much about it because it's part of the game and it was there for so long, and it's pretty much built upon that. That's the thing. The game itself is pretty much built upon violent procs or violent runes. I think it's too late to revert that aspect. The fact that Comtuos is continuously putting out these units that are more RNG heavy, and also even the skills becoming more RNG heavy, is a big minus. I think another one that he talked about was this hits 3 times, right? And then it fails to stun, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Sometimes I think that maybe even the accuracy is a little too low for some of these G3 players, because I see so many GT players playing with so little accuracy. And that makes me feel so stupid, you know, putting in more accuracy. But maybe that's just the thing, because it's so RNG heavy, why put a lot of accuracy on these units? Because you're losing so much stats for an additional 10, 20, 30% of accuracy. So I kind of understand that point. It's just because of how this is built. It's just that it's too RNG heavy. Even having decent accuracy is not worth. You don't know if you'll hit it or not, even with high accuracy. Just go low accuracy, put a lot of stats, and then pray for RNG. It's the total basis of this. I think it's bad. Something in the logic needs to change, but unfortunately, we all know that Comtuos is very slow with these. Maybe not even slow, they just don't care about this, because the fact is we have expressed this frustration multiple times and they're still coming out with these more RNG units. I mean, I'm not saying I take advantage of that, but I mean, why not? If you know that it's there to use, I mean, you should use it, especially if you want to get a better record. But the more they do it, the more occasions where it puts a detestful feeling in your mouth. Anyhow, putting that aside, that's an option. I could try putting some of the best runes on these, because right now they're pretty mediocre. Maybe the Tetsuya is decent, but other than that, I think my Gyu and also my Josephine could be better. Hagang, I think it's decent as well. Maybe a little more tankier. That's one path that I could take. Other path I could take is probably a second turn team, because I've said this multiple times. I watch a YouTuber called Angry Bird in Korea, and he ran a total second turn team this past season and again got G3. I think he got G3. I think he was in the edge, but he stopped playing and he got G3. The most common picks were Cardinal and Nana, and he goes from there. Counter picks from there, right? Obviously, counter picks from there as a second turn team is like Josephine sometimes, you sometimes. So you know where I'm going at. He, as a second turn player, he abuses what is RNG. Also, finally, coupled with Violent Procs, because most of these units in that, he also goes like the Wind Twin Angels, right? And he goes Violent on that. So he's preying on Violent Procs, he's praying for these passives to kick in, to get a stun, to get control over the opponent that is outspeeding him. But it worked. It worked extremely well, and he got G3. So we could try that, because I know his rune quality is very good, but we're not too far off. And if we're not too far off, why can't we get G1, right? Other aspect is to continue with Wedgeat. I have to figure out what other team I could go with it. It didn't work out last season too well. I got a recommendation to try with Wedgeat Miles. My Miles is decent, but it didn't perform too well. 50% accuracy, but with this is 74, and it still missed too many stuns. I hated it. With Angela, with Rakuni, and also like Fire and Wind Monkey was the main team that I got the recommendation of, but I just couldn't get it to work. Maybe it was just a pick and ban thing. The last way I could do it is to go with a stronger, more meta speed lead that was strong last season and try that, which was the Water Twin Angels. Now, if I do that, I'll strip my Wedgeat and give better runes to my Water Twin Angels and try that route. I know that a lot of people ran this, right? I'll have to figure out what are the stronger picks with this, because I know things like, again, Okeanos was strong, so we might want to do that, because Water Twin Angels with the Wind Twin Angels paired really well, and I really enjoyed using Wind Twin Angel with Wedgeat too. So knowing that it's strong with, or stronger maybe even with the Water Twin Angels, why don't we try that? So those are the 4 options, I think. Is that 4? Second, third team, yeah, it is 4. Yeah, try a team with just all of these RNG aspect. Gyu, this, Josephine, Hagang as a start. Number 2 is to go second turn. I think it'll be a Cardinal first pick type of thing, like Angry Bird. Third is stay with my root, Wedgeat, and try to figure out a team, because I mean, my one usable LD5 is Wedgeat. Why don't I continue with it, right? Why don't I try and get it to work? That could be an argument. And 4 is to use Ramael. Make a team around Ramael, fast speed lead, either Vile or Swift, and see how that will take me. If I do that, it'll be Ramael, Wind Twin Angels, I think, in my eyes, most of the time. Well, obviously it'll depend on the opponent's pick, but I think that's a strong first 2 picks. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would like to see. I'm going to continue on like the how-to videos too as we go on, because some people enjoy it, and some people reached out to me saying that they want to know more about this unit, that, so definitely could do that as well. But I do want to pick a core team early on, preferably after the balance patch, and then see if it could work well. I am leaning toward the second turn team because I am watching a YouTuber that does really well with it, and I can learn a lot from it, and he's usually in G1, G2, G3. But if you guys would like to see something else, I will gladly do that as well. That was it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are preparing for the next season. Looking forward to the balance patch. Shishizo's video was very on point, and I think Comtuos should know about it. I think these multi-hit stuff at least should change. I think they should be a set multi-hit. Like, why can't all of the skills be like this, right? It says 6 times. But does it have to be like this, right? 3 to 5 times. Imagine hitting it only 3 times, right? That's like, wait, if you only hit it 3 times, that's 60% of the total damage that you could put. It's just too much. It's just too much, guys. This needs to change. I think this definitely needs to change. It's really bad. Accuracy stuff, it hurts, but I mean, again, I think it's built upon the game, like accuracy resistance stuff. I don't know how the heck they'll change that. I think there's no way they could change that. If you guys have a good idea on how they should change it, let me know, and maybe I could agree or disagree. But in my eyes, it's very hard to change that. I think more complaints will come out of that. Let's imagine, like, if you have an 85 accuracy, it should always land. I mean, I think that's kind of stupid, right? Then everybody will just not build resistance. Maybe that's what they should do, get rid of resistance, who knows. But I mean, if everything lands, that's kind of dumb. That also kind of goes against one of their debuffs, right? Which is the irresistible buff that makes everything hit. Now that's kind of mute. I don't know. There's just too many things to change. I think there's certain things that it's just too late. They can't get rid of. Violent procs is one. Accuracy rest check is one. Those are 2 things that they can't get rid of. But maybe some other things, like with the new units and maybe with these skill hits and stuff, I think those should change. Let me know what you're running next season, or just waiting for that balance patch, because that could change a lot of things. Although I doubt it. Rarely a lot of things change. I think it was around the same stuff for 2 seasons now, maybe 3. Or maybe it is bound to change. Who knows? Hope to see you guys in the next one. Let's see what we do for the new season, and I'll see you guys next time.